Hey fellow backyard boyers, Nick here. Today I'm in the kitchen, so I'm going to be showing you guys how to heat flatten a PVC pipe to make a tapered bowling over a kitchen stove. Now I'm just going to be showing you guys how to flatten. I'm not actually going to show you how to make a full bow. So this is just one way to flatten, and I'm in here in Colorado, so I'm kind of using just things that you could easily get. So here I have my PVC pipe. This is a 1-inch PVC pipe, schedule 40. And over here I have my 2 improvised spacer blocks. These were cut from the end of the 1-inch PVC pipe, and they are 1 inch tall. What I like to do for the greatest stability is I like the beginning of my taper to start at the inner diameter of the pipe. So if you have a 1-inch pipe, you start with a 1-inch spacer. If you have a 3/4 inch pipe, you start with a 3/4 inch spacer, and so on. So I've got my pipe and my spacers, and then to flatten, I'm using 2 boards. These I picked up at the local Home Depot in the cold lumber section. I got them for a total of, I think, $1.10 for 2 boards just like this. The only thing you need to look for is just make sure that they're straight. That way you can get a nice flat surface. You want to make sure that the surface doesn't look too bad. Now this board is pretty much flat, so this is my flattening section right here. So now what we're going to do is we're just going to heat up this pipe, and then we're going to put it in our flattening jig. So let's go heat it up first, and I'll show you how that works. So there are many different types of stovetops you can use, and I've used a good sampling of different types. What we have here is a newer glass top, but it still uses a coil system to heat up. Just the regular coils will work as well, so will gas. The only thing is that gas usually has it's a little easier to burn the pipes, so you got to be a little more careful with gas. Same thing with using like a propane torch or something, But I noticed that usually gas is a little easier because it heats the pipe up a little more efficiently, a little faster. Now this here it's a glass top, but it uses a coil. If you're trying to use induction, it usually won't work, just because you need to have contact with a certain surface to actually heat anything up. So I've only used coil or gas type stove. So here I'm going to turn it on for you, just so you can see. So I'm turning it on high. You can see the coil here is turning a bright red. So what you want to do is you want to turn it on and just let it heat up for a little bit. Now you don't want to heat it up too much, or you can burn out your coil. So a lot of the newer stovetops and hot plates will usually turn off when they get too hot, just to protect itself. But you want to make sure you don't run it too long, just a couple minutes at a time. Turn it off, it'll still give off heat, and then you can turn it back on. So I'm just going to let this heat up for a little bit. And simply what we're going to be doing is taking our pipe and just slowly twist it and put it over the stove. Now a heat gun is a lot more efficient. I can usually do a bow like this, heat up a limb in about 10 minutes with a heat gun. It'll probably take me about half an hour or so to do this on the stove. With that said, it is doable. So this is basically all we do. And you want to make sure that you're bringing the center of the handle over the center of the coil, and then flatten it out. So here you can see it's pretty heated up. I can smash everything from the center of the handle all the way to the tip. So now I'm going to be putting it into my flattening jig. So I'm going to put in my flattening jig and I'll show you how it all works. I've got this half of the pipe heated to the point where the whole length can be flattened with finger pressure. So you want to lay it out flat, and you want to do this really quickly. I'm going to place the top of the board at the center of the handle, and then you want to apply pressure. So it only takes about 50 to 60 pounds of pressure to flatten this completely if you've heated it up enough. Just adjusting it here. It should be good. So you just gotta let it sit until it cools. So I'm just gonna sit here until I feel it's cool enough. Alright, so here's the bow taper. You can see there's a nice subtle taper from tip to handle all the way to the other tip. So there it is. So now you can do whatever you want with this sort of preform. You know, because of the tapering, it's got a good flex to it already. All you need to do is, you know, shape your handle. You can taper the tips. You can smash the tips. You can recurve it. You can leave it like this. You can reflex it in the handle. You can do whatever you want at this point. Now that you have this sort of preform to start with. You could add Cias, you know. This is basically how you would flatten a PVC pipe. So here it is. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.